Hey guys, well 2013 is coming to an end and 2014 is right around the corner. It is so crazy to think that this year is almost finished and I just cannot believe it. It's been a wonderful year for me. I've gotten so much accomplished and I've moved forward with new chapters of my life and it's just been an awesome year for me. And I hope it's been a great year for you as well, and I hope 2014 holds a lot of good things for you guys. And because this year is coming to an end, I kind of wanted to do a little video series just basically capturing all the items that I really got use out of this year. I'm going to do one for skincare, makeup, and hair care, and pretty much just tell you guys things that I love this year, things I've repurchased and found myself gravitating towards and I couldn't live without. I'm going to start with eyeshadow palette. My favorite eyeshadow palette that I've gotten was the Lorac Pro Palette. I love this. I bring this everywhere with me. Whenever I go on a trip, this is the palette that I turn to. And I find myself using it very frequently. And I have so many palettes. So this one's definitely the top choice for me. And I love it because the selection in here is amazing. They have 8 mattes and they have 8 shimmery. So you can complete so many looks with this. And I think the color selection is really nice. And the pigmentation and quality of these eyeshadows are really nice as well. So this was my favorite eyeshadow palette. I suggest this to everyone, and anyone who knows me knows that I always run with this and travel with it everywhere I go. So for eyeshadows individually, I do find myself gravitating towards MAC eyeshadows. I have so many and I had to think long and hard about the ones that I really did use. So I'm gonna go with MAC shades that I used the most and I loved. And the first being my favorite is MAC's Brown Script, which is just the most beautiful reddish brown tone. It's so nice. I love it for all over the lid. I love it for deepening up my crease. I love everything about it. The next color, also by MAC, is going to be, I'm going to have to say Handwritten. This is probably my favorite matte shade I use to deepen up my outer crease. And I think it's just such a beautiful brown. And it's really nice to work with. Blends out really nicely. Just use it so much. So that one's definitely a keeper for me. And I definitely get my money's worth out of it. Out of this palette I have, there's 2 shades I love in it. The first is All That Glitters. I love this for all over the lid. It's a beautiful champagne. It's shimmery, but it's really pretty and it will look gorgeous on everyone. And I know it's very popular, so I'm not the only one who loves it. And something that I use every single day is MAC's Soft Brown. I really use this on a day-to-day basis constantly. Kind of just a transition shade. It doesn't really deepen for me. It's more of a transition and it blends out really well. And it just gets rid of harsh lines that I might have created while achieving different looks. So that is definitely one of my favorites because I do use it almost every single day. And my last color that I absolutely love, and it's apparent because I hit pan, is MAC's Vex. I love this shade. It's so gorgeous. I've had it for a few years and I find myself reaching for it so much because I think it's just so beautiful. It's a silvery, almost like a purpley, pinky kind of shade once you move it in the light. So moving on from eyeshadows, I'm going to go to primers. There are 2 primers that I have reached for so much and they're my go-to. Love them. They're the best of the best and I cannot live without them. The first is MAC's Painterly, which is also very popular. It is a pinky tone. I love it because it makes colors pop and it makes your eyeshadow look stay. It doesn't crease anything. So this was my go-to. I've repurchased this. The next item is Kat Von D's High Voltage Eye Primer in Skin. I've been using this non-stop. If I'm not using this, I'm using Painterly, but I find myself using this more. And I absolutely love it. Painterly is more of a pinky tone, whereas this is more of a yellowy tone. So they're both really nice and they do help achieve really nice looks. So moving on from eyes, I'm going to go to eyebrows. There are 2 items that I live for. I have not used anything else. The first is the MAC Eyebrow Pencil in Spiked. This is my favorite pencil. I know there is a lot of hype on Anastasia's Brow Wiz and I've never used it, so I really can't compare it. But I'm just so happy with the MAC Spiked. I love the way it looks on me. It's very natural. So this was my holy grail and I will continue to use it forever because I already have backups of it. When it comes to an eyebrow powder, I use the Urban Decay Brow Box. They actually redid the packaging, so this is the older one, so it's vintage. And I love this brow powder. It has two colors in it. I use the darker of the two. I don't really use this one, and I love this because it matches me really well. And I usually use this to fill in sparse areas of my brows. I typically outline my eyebrows with MAC Spiked and fill it in with this Urban Decay brown. Also has like a mini tweezer and a mini brush. I don't use those. And it also comes with wax to keep those babies in place, which I also don't use. I used to until I found Anastasia's clear brow gel. This is my obsession. I love this stuff. I never had really unruly eyebrows, but it definitely keeps them tamed, and I see all the difference in them. And it's just a great product. It's not too stiff. It looks natural. It doesn't look like your eyebrows are painted on. So I do enjoy this, and it's a great product, and I think everybody and their mom should go out to the store and purchase it because it's that good if you do your eyebrows. So moving on from eyebrows, I'm going to go to mascara. Mascara is not something that I typically gravitate towards, but there is one that has stolen my heart. This one is my go-to. I think that I've had it the longest and I enjoy it the most. It is the MAC 3D Lash Mascara. This stuff is amazing. I love the wand. It's so giant, and I just love the way it coats my lashes. It's an awesome mascara, and I will definitely be repurchasing it. Moving on from mascara to liners. There are so many liners out there, and I find myself reaching for the Stilla Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. I love this stuff. The only thing is that it's a felt tip pen, and the tip tends to fray, so I am getting a little frustrated with that because I'm constantly having to buy new ones. But I love how black it is. I love just everything about it, but I wish that they would use a plastic versus a felt tip wand. When it comes to waterline liners, I love the Stilla Smudge Stick Waterproof Eyeliner. I have used this for years and years. This was my holy grail item of the year because this was just something I repurchased so many times and couldn't live without. Along with MAC's Kohl and Smolder. This stuff is amazing. It's so black. It's really nice. You can see that I really got my use out of it because it's almost finished, and I've already repurchased a backup, but you do have to be careful because it can tend to smudge if you have smudgy eye problems. So moving on from eyeliners, I'm going to go to concealer. So concealers are hit or miss with me. I have problems with concealer. I cannot find any that I absolutely adore and couldn't live without, but the one I've used the most has to be the Benefit Boing Concealer. I have hit pan on it, so it's definitely been going to use. I do have problems with it creasing, but I really like it. It reminds me a lot of the one from MAC. I cannot remember. I think it's like the Studio one. I'm not quite sure, but they're very similar in texture, and I just really enjoyed it. But it's not my favorite. It didn't like move me, and I don't think I would repurchase it. The other thing I love is a skin corrector. This is for underneath your eyes, and it's by Bobbi Brown. I have it in the color Dark Peach, and I love this stuff. It's so good for correcting any dark circles or imperfections on your face, and I feel like this is something that everyone needs because I feel like everybody has redness or darkness on their face, and it's really good for correcting it and making your skin like a blank canvas. So I really do love this, and I will be repurchasing it. Moving on from concealer, I'm going to go to foundation. Two foundations that I really enjoyed and that I find myself constantly going back to no matter how many that I've tried and liked is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I love this stuff. The coverage is amazing. It's very full coverage. I do find myself having to blot, but I just love it so much. So this is something I've definitely repurchased like 3 or 4 times this year. So it's definitely been my holy grail of all the foundations I've used. As far as BB creams go, I love this BB cream by Tarte. I love the way it feels. It's really great coverage, and it's amazing if you want to go out on the beach or something where you don't need full coverage. This is great stuff, and it just is so nice. And this is something I have repurchased. So moving on from that, I'm going to go to skin powders. I love, love, love this powder. It's been my favorite of all time, and I will continue to buy it as long as I live. It is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. I have 2 of them because I use the medium plus underneath my eyes, and I use medium dark for on my face. And I love this stuff because it gives you such a nice coverage, and it's a really nice mattifier, but it doesn't look cakey ever. And I just love the results that they give me. And a cheaper powder, this one's more of like a translucent. I use it for underneath my eyes as a highlighting powder, is the Nye Banana Powder. This stuff is great. The only downside about this is that if you're using any kind of flash, it will definitely leave a halo, and that's the one thing I cannot stand about it. But other than that, it's really nice for day to day. If you're not taking pictures or anything like that, you won't go wrong with this, and it's really affordable. I'm going to go to bronzer. My bronzer that I love, and it's in every video I do, is this Victoria's Secret MegaGlow Bronzer. I love this stuff. It is so great. It fits my complexion really well, and I think this is a really nice product for anybody who is deeper in tone, because it is hard to find bronzers that fit your skin really well because they tend to match. So this one has been great. I bought backups of it because I love it so much. And for blush, my favorite blush has to be Kat Von D's blush in Essex. This is the most gorgeous. It's like a dusty rose type color, and I find myself using this all the time. And for this year, it's definitely the one that I've loved. I've gotten some more that I really liked, but this one has been the one I've used the most when it comes to 2013. And for highlights I have two. There's two that I absolutely love, and the first is NYX Lightscapade, and it is this like pearlescent. It's also got some blues in it, but it's really pretty. I'm actually wearing it today, and it's really nice on any skin tone, and it's very sheer, and you don't get over highlighted, which is really nice, and it's fairly affordable. And I actually got this from the cosmetic company store, which is like an outlet, so it was like $17, so it was not bad because they're typically $30. So this one is great. Love this stuff. For women of color like myself, I absolutely love this. This is the Mineralized Skin Finish in Gold Deposit. It is also so beautiful, and it gives you such a nice glow to the skin, and it's just such a nice highlight tone. So if you are deeper in tone, this one will definitely be your best friend. It looks so nice. And moving on from powders and stuff for the face, I'm going to go towards lip glosses. So lip glosses are something that I don't love to spend a lot of money on. I do from time to time, but I feel like they're not anything spectacular where I need to go back and run to get it. So the ones that I love and they're super affordable are the NYX Butter Glosses. These have been my obsession for the whole year. I have so many of them, and they're so cheap. I think they're about $4. And the colors I use the most are Merengue, which is this really pretty pink. And then I also like Tiramisu, which is also very nice, and they're so affordable, guys. And for lipsticks, the two that I wear all year round is got to be MAC's Diva, which is a really deep red. I absolutely adore this red, and I wear it year round. I don't just stick to fall with this red. I think it's so beautiful, and it looks great on everyone because the color is just so pretty. And then MAC's Syrup. It's a very neutral tone. I find myself reaching for it, and I've used this so much, and it's a great day-to-day shade. So on to primers. I'm going all over the place. I love the NYX Shine Killer. Also a very affordable product, and it is so good. I love it. It reminds me a lot of the Smashbox Photo Ready, so I like that about it. And it's about $12, which is a fraction of the $50 that the Smashbox version costs. So this stuff has been great. I've already repurchased it because I've gone through one of these already. And a high-end primer that I also like is the Tarte Poreless Clean Slate Primer. This stuff is really nice. It reminds me a lot of the NYX one. It just feels a little bit more silky on the skin, but it's really nice, and it's very pricey. I think it's about $36. So that's the only downside about it, is that it's kind of steep, but it's a really good product if you don't mind splurging. And lastly, the item that I love the most when it comes to setting sprays is the MAC's Fix Plus. I've used Urban Decay's Chill. I have used their Oil to Slick, and I don't love them. This stuff is amazing. I've also used Model in a Bottle, and this stuff just is the best. I love the way it looks when you put it on your face. It makes your makeup fuse together and look very natural, and I think this is a must-have for everyone. So that is all of my holy grail items for 2013. I hope you guys enjoy your New Year's and all the fun stuff that's going to be coming around the corner and the holidays. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, guys.